I think it has begun. Let me start by thanking everybody for joining us today for this small presentation. My name is Ben Maake. I am a lecturer by profession, and I lecture computer science related courses. I have not been into cybersecurity, but because of interest, I have joined. I want to learn many things to do with cybersecurity. I am an academician and a researcher, so I have done bits of research, and I've done bits of publishing. So I thought that it's wise, or it would be good for us to really appreciate that research needs to go out and be utilized by many other people. So the angle that I will be presenting this work today is quote unquote the academic angle. So what do we mean by having a publication ready to be sent out or to be shared to the public? That is the question that I would be trying to solve today. So I hope that for those who are students, or for those who want to either do their master's, or who might also be willing to do their PhD, might borrow one or two things from here to have them publish, and also to have them either identify problems or research problems that can help them pursue their dream cybersecurity element or path. So I'll just straight away go into today's work, and I hope I'll not take long. Hopefully by 15 minutes, I should be done. I want to make this presentation as short as possible. And then after this presentation, I might just show you one or two tools that can be used to put together a publication. And hoping that today, henceforth, we are going to have all the research that is done in this group, or in this consortium, or in this organization being put together as a publication to be sent out either to a magazine, or to a journal, or to a conference paper, or to a white paper, locally and internationally. That, by so doing, we are going to really share knowledge and also enable people to know that something is being done in Kenya. Now, that's why I thought of sharing this topic, essentials of making a cybersecurity publication. Now, why should we publish? That's the first question we need to ask ourselves. And apart from just publishing papers, we can also publish data. Now, why is it important? Number one, for us to be able to share information, we must publish it. And this information, at the same time, will empower many other people out there. Now, number two, when we publish research through paper, or when we publish even data, or when we publish both research paper and research work and data and code, etc., we tend to recognize people who have done that work. We tend to give credit to the people who are doing what they're doing. In many times, for example, this academic writing or publishing of academic papers, many times people don't publish their code there. But nowadays, there are platforms where people share and publish their data, and they get credit over that. So that is very important. And by doing publications, we can also discover or bring awareness to many other things. And at the same time, this publishing would enable other people to review your work. We call them peer reviewers, who are going to augment or add or discredit or help you build up a better case than you have. So that's why we have the peer review process. And at the end of the day, by sharing and publishing our work, we are going to link up with experts who are going to help us with our work. In actual sense, when you tell people out there that you're working on this, you build up your network and people would want to come and start working with you, or they'll suggest something that you need to work on. So this expert service is very important. And in our case as a KCFA, we can say that by publishing, we are going to improve our networks. And as technology is there, we are going to benefit a lot from that. Now, where are we going to publish? Now, there is a host of platforms where we can publish our work. Number one, we can decide to publish them in journals. Now, these journals might be academic or might be informational journals. Number two, magazines. 3 conferences, 4 publications, 5 books, and you can name them. You can still go to online platforms. You can have something like a blog or a website and many other places where people would be able to come and interact with your research. And that's why we're supposed to publish where? In all these platforms. Now, you might recognize that what you might need to publish or how you need to publish in a journal might be different from how you need to publish in a magazine, or it might be slightly different from how you need to publish in a book. So since I am an academician, I'm just going to share what people in academia do, how we publish in journals, and how we publish in conferences. And of course, also how we publish in books, because we do all those. Now, what I need to help us understand is this. The moment we plan to share our research, we are trying to tell the world that this is what we are doing. Therefore, it is very important for us to do a high quality research that would advance science and would better the lives of people. Now, in this case, in cybersecurity, it would advance cybersecurity and all the realms that dwell in there. Number two, when we do research, we aim to provide theoretical insights and practical implications. In many times on our platform, I see lots of practical things being done. It's really amazing. And also on the other hand, it's also very important to have the theoretical insight of what is most or what is commonly implemented. And that's why theory is key. And at the same time, if we do research, it's possible that we might boost our research profile and fast track our career progression. My hope that if we get employed somewhere, or if we are just doing research for some entity, people might get to know more, and your work would be known and your career would advance. Now, this is what you would call as basic steps of writing a conference paper or a journal paper. Now in this case, I would mention that we know what cybersecurity is, and we are learning the elements, the facets, and the very many subdivisions and divisions in cybersecurity. And each one of us might be interested in one section or the other. So it's very important for us to understand that if we want to write a paper, let's say it's a journal or a conference, then we need to know the line in which we want to specialize in. And that is why we have to say that number one, you need to find an idea and work on it and get the result. Meaning that you need to understand your line, get a problem, and then start working on it and getting results, something close to that. Number two, you need to write your content of the papers in the, of course, the sections that we always know. There might be an introduction, literature review, and then results or observations, or methodology section, and then results, and then after that, conclusion, something close to that. After that, you need to identify, let's say it's a journal or a conference paper, those are two different things. You need to identify what you really want to work on. If it's a journal, you need to have something close to the whole experiment done. If it's a conference, you need to like even have at least one or two steps done, telling people that this is what I'm working on and expecting them to add or to advise to your work. So that's a bit of the differences that are there. And then number three, once you've identified really where you want to work or where you want to send your work, let's say it's an international conference in cybersecurity or it's an international journal in cybersecurity. Now, you need to check whether you are eligible to send. Now, it's very interesting that there are some journals which restrict some countries to some people based on their qualifications, and three, regional, and many other criterions, either field, etc. So go through and see, are you eligible to write there? Yes or no? If not, move to the next one. If yes, please carry on. Now, in every journal or in every conference, there are guidelines that would help you write a paper to them. And that's why they always give you a template. Please follow that template and it's going to work for you. Now, after you do your work, make sure you do some copy editing. Take your work to a language expert who would go through your work, and then after that, your work will be ready to be sent out. Most of our work are rejected because of poor English and many other things. Now, maybe before you even send your work out, meet your research mentor or your research group like this. Give us your paper. Let's interact with it. And once we've given in our input, put them together, then send your paper out. I'm on number 7. Send the paper out and wait for an intimation, an accept or a reject. Now, once you either get an accept, then you get the comments that you're supposed to work on. If you get a reject, many times you might want to do what? You might want to either appeal, or number 2, you might want to send your work somewhere else. Now, if it's accepted and you make the corrections, then you're ready to travel for the conference or do it online. But if it's a journal, no traveling out. You just have to work on your work, and then you're able to do what? You are able to send it back to the reviewers and it's going to be published. Now, that is what happens. Now, I developed a tool here that I use with my master's students. I guide students in their master's in computing sciences, and we came up, no, when I was doing my research, I developed this tool that can help, that helped me in doing my research, and I believe that it's also going to help other people do their research. Now, it is a tool that helps you analyze publications, and these publications are research papers that we get online. Now, in this case, for example, you might want to write about, let's say, either cybersecurity trends in Kenya or in Africa or in the world, or 2020, something close to that. You need an academic angle to do that. And by so, you have to go to do what? To relevant sites and get the right information or the right papers from there. A good example, if you are a scholar or an academician, you go to Google Scholar. Google Scholar will give you academic papers on any research topic. Number two, you can go to Microsoft Academic Search. It can also do the same thing to give you academic papers, and then you'll be able to know what is currently happening. Now, in this case, let me just go through this 1 to 10 quite fast for us to understand. Number one, you need to understand what is this paper you're trying to read. The title. Is the title speaking to the problem, the cybersecurity problem that you want to solve? Yes or no? Authors. Is it important to know the authors? It's very important. Why? There are some authorities in some disciplines whereby you know that if it comes to either this type of, let's say, algorithm or this type of framework, it is so and so. So it means that names in academia or names in research are very important. If you're researching in anything, try to get the best person to do it. Next, where is the work published? Now, this is very important. Don't just pick anything and just use it without really knowing where it's published in. Many a times, if you really want to know or to really understand where we are in technology, you go to these very big databases like Springer or Elsevier, and then you would try to interact with the papers written there. You'd see people who've done great research and lots of citations there. Now, that is published in, very important. Takeaway message is this, once you have a document, a cybersecurity document or paper, what is the message that is being discussed there? Is it trying to speak to your problem that you want to address? Yes or no? If no, throw it aside. If yes, keep it. And then understand the motivation for that work. If you understand why the person wrote that work, then you know the motivation for it being written. And that would also help you understand that even your work, you need also to have a motivation for it. You must really have something that is driving you to write that paper. Next, you need to know the proposed solution. For every, for example, cybersecurity problem or issue, there is always a proposed solution or framework. Now, that helps people really like understand that people are trying to solve something. It might not be 100% solution, but something that would address that. We need to see all these things being done. So once you understand the proposed solution, you can evaluate that work in terms of method. What method was used to come up with this solution? etc. How did they do it? And what did they do? This is method that they used. And did they leave anything hanging? Now, if yes, then that is how we come up with the open research areas. And then you say, now I am going to do my research on this, or I think this area needs to be solved. Now, and then from there, you can see the overall evaluation of that paper. And then number 8, you can see what contribution the paper has. You can write it down there. And then if there are any future directions, you can write them there. And then if there's any site or reference, you can put it there. It's very important for you to have this information now before you write any academic paper in any line, including cybersecurity. Now, quickly, I would want to demonstrate that it's very simple and very easy to do what? to do or to write a scientific paper? What do you need? One, you need content to publish. Two, you need tools that are going to make your work extremely easy so that as you put it together, it's easy, it's presentable, and when you send it out, it is professional. That's what I just want to do. So there's one software by the name Endnote. Maybe most of you have heard or have not heard about it. Endnote would help you to cite people who've done work. And then at the end of the day, it's going to put that reference all the way down at the end of the paper. If you're writing a thesis, let's say it's a master's thesis, what you do inside your work and the people you quote and cite, the citation will remain inside the text and the reference will go at the back of your thesis. That's what I'm trying to say. So that's what Endnote would do. And the content to publish is the things you're trying to solve. That one can be anything related to cybersecurity can be utilized. Now, allow me to just use 2 minutes or 3 minutes to do that. I have Endnote software here. Allow me to share it. This is the software. Once you download it, it would tell you that this is the software. We need to have the authors here, and then the title. It gives you all the information about any particular paper. Now, you might want to ask me, hey, Ben, so how do we have this information entered here? There's a manual way. You can either use this plus sign here, or there is an automated way. The automated way would help us now. Now, for example, let's go to Google Scholar. Sorry, Google Scholar. I don't know if you're able to see my screen.
Yes, we are seeing your screen.
All right.
Yeah.
So thank you. If we go to Google Scholar, it is Google Scholar, meaning we can get all the academic papers on cybersecurity right here. Now, how do you get into Google Scholar? You can use the way I've just shown you, or if you are right here in this page or this.
Excuse me.
Yes.
We are only seeing the Endnote. We are not seeing the Google Scholar.
Okay, let me go to the Google Scholar then. Just let me share the screen. So for every screen I have to share.
It's easier.
No problem.
Are we there?
Yeah, we are seeing.
Are you seeing Google Scholar?
Yes.
Now, in Google Scholar, let's say we want to type any cybersecurity, let's say threats or attacks. What happens? It brings to us papers that are academic, that are in the line of cybersecurity. So it's us to now start sieving, either using this side, this section here. You can say you want to see the latest cybersecurity threats. You come to since 2020. These are the threats that are there currently in 2020 and published in journals. That's what Google Scholar would do. It would put all academic writings in the world which have been uploaded to various databases, and you will be able to get them right here. Now, this is what happens. If you see here, this is a paper, and this is saying it is cited by 11 people, and then related articles. I don't want to go there, 4 versions. And then we have something here called import to Endnote. Meaning all the information about this paper can be imported to that Endnote. Now, I will click here, and then something would come down here. Once I click it again, it would import to Endnote. Are you seeing Endnote? Yes or no?
Yeah, I've seen.
Yes. So that means the first cybersecurity paper has been uploaded to what? To Endnote. Now, I will come again here. Are we able to see again the Google Scholar?
Yes.
Yes. Again, we can now look for a paper that talks about cybersecurity countermeasures that was done in 2019. If you do that, they would come here. Sorry, let me just click this one. This, okay, not since 2019. You can have a custom range 2019, or you can say even 2011 to 2013, something like that. So you can search for any paper. Now let's say this is the paper that we want. You can download the paper if you want, or you can import the reference to Endnote. Now the second reference has come there. Now let me do that for 2 or 3 papers, and then I just go to MS Word, and then I compose a little sample paper, and then show how we can format it, and then see how we can do cybersecurity papers in the coming few days. Okay, now we currently have these 4 references. They're all talking about anybody. They're all talking about people who've done maybe this work somewhere. Let me just add one of mine here. Sorry for that. Let me just write any time so that it can, and then I can say Bernard. Now, this is my paper. I will import it, and I'll also import another one here. Let me import 2 of my papers right here. So what I have just basically done is to show you that when we read papers, we can get information about the papers and store them to help us start writing our work. Remember, it's always very important to do what? To share your research with people, and to also cite and say that people so and so did this, so and so did this. Now, so that you don't get mentioned as a plagiarism, somebody who's doing plagiarism. Now, finally, I want just to go to MS Word. I want to share that final document. It's a blank MS Word document. It's right here. Are we able to see MS Word documents?
Yes.
All
Yes,
right,
I can
thank
see
you.
it.
Now, this is what usually happens. When you install the software Endnote, just by the ribbon here, you're going to have something called Endnote coming here. When I click on this ribbon, I have options here like insert citations, insert note, insert figures, blah, 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 and many other things. You can edit the bibliography right here, and then you can change the layout of the work right here. You can even keep the title of the bibliography right here. Now, let's say our title is cybersecurity threats in Kenya 2020. Now, This, let's say, is our title of our work. You know, the introduction section is a must, and then you know the methodology is a must, and then you can come to experimentation, and then finally you can have results there, and then you can have conclusion, something like this. Now, if this is what happens, when you are writing your cybersecurity, you can say right here now in smaller font, as if I'm just assuming that I'm doing a paper. You can start saying that cybersecurity is a good field to study. Now, this was said by somebody, an author. Now, you now come to this Endnote software, you come to insert citation, and you click insert citation there. What happens there? All the citations that are available would come here. Let's say it's Marke who said that. If I type Marke like that, the Marke would come here. You can see right here, Marke is here. I can double click this, and Marke and all these other people would come here. And what happens? If you scroll down, you would see something happening down here. So this is all the information about this paper here. And then I can put a full stop and then continue to narrate the story of cybersecurity. For example, cybersecurity. Now, if that's the thing, somebody else said that, what do? You come to insert citation, you insert a citation, and then let's say it is somebody who is called as Choi. Now, once you click insert here, the Choi man will come here, and if you scroll down, you will see the Choi man has already come up here, meaning automatically your work is being populated with the people who are doing the work. Now, let's say the methodology you're using is for somebody. You can say this methodology has been used by, you cite the person who used the methodology to really like give your work more credibility, saying you're using the right methodology. Once you do that, this guy called Humayun would by default be added down here, Humayun. So what is happening? Finally, you can say the experimentation was done according to this person, this other person. Let me just add one more person now. Here, 2013. He would definitely come down here. So what I'm trying to say is this: putting together our work is extremely simple as long as we have the right people who have done the work and they're being cited by us. Now, let me just format this thing shortly here. You can come to this small ribbon here, and then you can go to bibliography. There's a layout here, and then right here, you can type what? You can type the word, either let's say it's references, like that. If you do that and press OK, automatically this title comes here. But then you can still format it much better. This work looks good in Times New Roman. There we go, Times New Roman. And then you can say it's number 12 we want. And then you can say that you want a single line after every reference. You can come here and then you add a single line. Once you click there, you can see that our work is beginning to take shape. Let me just make it bigger like that. So references already taken care of. Now what's supposed to happen? We are now supposed to put the content in place. Now that is the work we're supposed to do. Now my presentation is just to like say this: hey people, we are doing lots of good work on the platform. Why can't we publish that work? That is why I thought that it's good for us to start sharing all the cyber security issues with our local people and international people. So by the end of the day, you would realize that publication is something which is extremely easy. It's only us having the right tools. And I think for us to be able to publish well in cybersecurity, we need to understand the right places to get our papers, the right people or the authorities in every line, and the current problems that we are being faced in our country or in the world. By identifying that, we can put together some work that can be published and that can really help people understand what is happening. Now, this is something that I think would help us do what? Really publish most of our work. Now, back to my very, very first screen that I began with. It was a PowerPoint here. Back to the very beginning. I want to encourage everybody, if you have a presentation to make, or if you think you want to write a paper, or if you think you want to write a journal, why can't we come together, put these things together? This is an academic paper. We can do a book. We can do what? We can do a white paper. We can do a magazine. We can do anything that is possible within flash of a minute. So I think I am done. It was not so much into cybersecurity. It was so much into publication, because I think it can help us do some contribution, especially through our published work. Otherwise, thank you. And back to the chair. I don't know if there's any question or answer, or if anybody wants to do what? To say something. Yeah.
I think a round of applause to Ben McKay. Guys, what do you say? What do you say? I'm not hearing people shouting, but I can see from the chat. Well
That's
done.
the way
And
to
great.
go.
Okay, well done.
Now let's
Thank
open
you.
it up. People have
Yes.
questions. You can now ask.
Okay, people, please ask your question. I am sorry, I was so much academic. And when I began, I just mentioned that I am from academia, and I've been doing research. I guide students in the master's and also bachelor. So please don't see that I'm not too cyber. I really want us to start publishing as cybersecurity experts. My technical work will be presented much later. Yes, please. Any question or comment or concern?
Look at the charts.
Okay.
And whoever asks a question, you can just raise your hand and you shoot your question.
Yes, thank you, Silvanus. Please get in touch. For those who are wondering, why am I talking about guiding students? I have finished my PhD in computer science. I'm only waiting for my defense. I've been in South Africa for the past 5 years, and I gathered a lot of experience, and I am yet to share it here. What I'm doing is just making way for us to start doing proper research and publication. That's all for now. Technical things, welcome Bali Kwanza.
Okay, Clive has raised his hand. Clive?
Yes, Clive.
Thank you for the very informative presentation.
Yes, sir.
My question is, there are places you may not get data. Yet you want to publish in that area and do the research.
Yes.
How do you go about it?
Now, you don't get data. What do you mean by you don't get data?
Let me give you an example.
Yes, please.
I want to do something on insider fraud in banks and financial institutions.
Yes, sir.
And people don't want to discuss that part
Yes.
because of the issues of confidentiality and the privacy issues.
Yes.
And yet you want to ground your research on that, that the problem exists.
Yes.
And then you want to have a kind of meeting and arrange for it. But
Yes.
there's no one willing to come to that. How do you start doing that so you can publish?
Now, let me say this, sir. Online, we have lots of open data, and most of that data has been anonymized, and therefore privacy and confidentiality matters are not even present there. So if you really want some of those information or those sites, I'm willing to share them to you. And based on that information, you can ground your theory or your argument because the data in there has already been anonymized and it's ready for use and it's being utilized actually for experimentation.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yes, any other? Yes, I'm seeing on the chat here. Yeah, let me say there are very many, let me call them referencing and formatting formatting software. We have Endnote, we have another one called Mendeley, we have BibTeX, and very many, there are more than 20. Now, maybe just to show you how powerful this thing is, let me just go back to one slide. The slide I was working on. I'm sorry for that. Now, this is the slide I was working on. Huh? Yes, the question is here. Is there are different referencing formats? Is Endnote versatile to accommodate the various formats out there? This is Michael asking. Michael, I hope you can see my screen.
Yes.
Yes, now look here. We have this formatting type. Are you seeing this formatting type? This is called APA. But we are computer scientists and engineers. We don't use APA. What do we use? IEEE, yes or no?
Yes.
Or some other formats. What you do, you come to this EndNote, you click style here. Once you click style, you go to here, there's this drop down button here. Something comes here, select another style. Let me tell you people, there are more than 5,000, or there's so many styles in the world. My university in South Africa has its own unique style. So let me click here, select another style. This small thing comes here. I want IEEE because you know tumezoea kwa paper. I will scroll down like this, and then I'll get to I. Aha, I've seen something here. You see, IEEE ACM transaction is here. IEEE Kuapa, IEEE proceeding is here. So let me just click here, transactions here, ACM. So once I do that, what happens? It's now number 1 here. It's number 2 here. What happens down here? Look here. It already changed. Imeka 1, 2, 3, 4. It's all automated. Now, let me just make it even more interesting so that you can see what happens. Let's say you are doing your research and you realize that number 4 is not really adding a lot of information to your work. Number 4, remember, is this guy down here. So what happens? You just come to this number 4 here, and then you delete it. Once you delete, what happens? Number 4 down here goes away. And let's say you sent your journal to ACM, ikakataliwa. Sasa, you are sending that journal or paper to stranger or another conference which has got different styles. What do? You just come here and click add another style. Let's say that conference wanatumia nini? Wanatumia inaitwaje? Let me just guess anyone here. Educational review. Hata geography haina shida. This what comes? Are you seeing? So you have any type of style is going to work for you. So you can say now this our work is for computing. Let's put IEEE. Just come here. It's your economic geography. Ama hii sio nini? Hii sio business, academy of business. Ama it's your chemistry. You put chemistry. Chemistry will come like this. No, this is not what we want. You see, it's putting all these funny things here. 1 Jew, 2 Jew. That's how it's referenced in chemistry. Why? I think chemistry has got so many questions. So they would want sometimes to have it unique like this. So what happens? Just come and choose your style right here and say, no, I do with computing and it's only IEEE. And once you have the IEEE, you will be good to go. It's right here. So let me just add it here. It will change everything to IEEE. So it's right here. So in Amanisha data, it will always work with the type of conference you want to send your work to. So the problem here is not the system, is where are you sending your work? If you're sending it to somewhere and they have a special style, you download the style and insert it inside the style folder for Windows 32, something close to that. You just have to do some bit of things here and there, and then it will be recognized, and then you'll have it here. So I think it's possible for you to manipulate, and you can have anything published anywhere. So people, let's start publishing. Yes, any other question, people? Chairman. Michael, are you answered?
Yes. Yes.
All right, yeah, you can always play around with it. And actually, let me say one thing here. We can write a paper within 2 hours and it is ready for publication. As long as you have the content and you have the people who have done that, we can cite them, and you have the experiment, we can put it there, the results, you can put it there, discuss, put this format up and down, put the diagrams there, send it out, or send it out. It will be ready for publication. Yes.
Thank you for the challenge.
Now, Bernard.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Bernard.
Yes, I can get you, sir.
An nagging question. I think an nagging question that will come first.
Yes, please.
I know we have so many people who are currently struggling with making publications and all that, and this is more of eye-opening. So the first question would be, if some people will need your assistance, because this one is like an appetizer, will you be available to assist our members? That is the first question.
Let me say this. I had to give you the appetizer so that you can follow me. I will help you, people.
Okay. So guys, that one I think you've had.
I want us to publish. That's why I came here.
We are coming.
Now, second question to that.
Yes, sir.
You're seeing Endnote. It's called Endnote version, I don't know, 7. Another.
This one is 7.
Is it a freeware? Is it
sorry?
Oh, so this is it a freeware? Is it people with proprietary? How do people access this? Okay. Or their own practices under that?
Let me say this, sir. Simple. Number one, we have those which are very free. Like Mendeley, it's free, open source for everybody. Now, Endnote, when it comes with a 30-day trial period. What happens to me, my university supplies it to me. And since I'm a computer scientist, I can also supply myself some, but I'm not recommending anything like that. Hello.
Understood.
That is understood. So I hope guys are also listening. The
Yeah,
other thing,
yes,
the
sir.
other thing of interest, you know,
Yes, please.
why we are doing all these presentations mostly on weekly basis, we want to unlock the potential, because I know we have so much potential which is really lying idle. And I'm already seeing we may need to have a recast of the same presentation now with the most members present, so that whoever makes a presentation also has a futuristic view. He gets to understand he can publish this thing, whether it's a journal, internationally,
Exactly.
and all that.
Yes,
So
Chair.
prepare yourself to have another app. People may say the way himself when he says another app for this.
No, anytime, Chair. Please let us always publish our work. It's very important.
Okay, guys, who has another question to shoot? You know, Bernard had said it'll only take 20 minutes, but I think it has become so interesting. So whoever has a question can still ask.
Yeah, Beatrice asks that is there a difference between Endnote and Mendeley? Yes, two different companies. One is commercial, and you see, like Endnote, when it comes, you see the layout or how it attaches itself to the Word document and etc. are slightly different. How you have to cite or invoke those citations are slightly different, but more or less, both of them are easy to use. And actually, I have a list of about 10 or 15 freeware for referencing and citations. So I can always share that with people who might be in need or who are interested. That is to Beatrice. Back to Chair, please. You are now, I think, going
I can see silence means people are really, they really got that information. It has sunk well. So anyway, let me just say thank you so much for your time. I know it was a short notice.
Yes.
It was a short notice based on what you told me.
Yes, sir.
It was a short notice based on what you told me, but you got justice to it. And we still hope to hear more from you. And
yes,
which working group do you belong? Is it research and innovation or user awareness?
No, I am in research and innovation.
Now, you see, these are the potential we need to unlock. We need to have that greater picture there so that it can be felt. Nobody even knew you had made those publications, you see? Now, that is the way we need to go.
No, I have publications. No, and I want us to do publications together. We can go far.
Thank you so much, guys. I think may you have a wonderful night for now.
Right. Thank you, everybody.
Night.
Yeah, good night.
Thank
Bye.
you, Ben, for taking away my procrastination.
Who is that who's procrastinating?
Clive.
No, Clive Osomu, you have to finish that thesis or that journal or that paper, whatever it is. We have to do it either together or whichever way. I will
follow you. Now I'm motivated. I've started today.
I am glad. I am glad. Let's finish our master's and our bachelor's or our PhDs. It's important.
My PhD has been pending 5 years now.
No. Let's finish that thing like yesterday. All right.
Thank you.
Chair, now you can take
okay.
the right.
Thank you so much.
Yes.
Thank you. Let me end it.
Oh, please do that.
Okay.